Nothing
Woo.
funny? Oh, okay. We're being normal today.
Oh, am I supposed to say the ritual thing? I got yelled at last time.
No. Yeah, well, they're not here. You can't say it. They're not here.
True enough.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Your
The
video.
ritual was not complete this
It
time.
was not. The sacrifice was not good enough.
Oh dear. Your video is lagging slightly.
Oh well.
But I'm sure it'll.
Mine?
Yeah, yours is. For me.
It always does.
For me, it's lagging a little bit. So. But
Yeah, it tends to. It's fine. Hi, I'm Milo, and I'm going to be storytelling tonight, but it's going to be slightly different. So, 3LC, introduce yourself.
I am 3LC, and then I'm playing Sim, the fire elemental.
And
Hey. I'm Mike. I'll be playing Dain, the Beast Man. Beast Man? Oh no! But I won't be here for very long, unfortunately, due to travel restrictions.
And we are playing a modified version of Changeling the Lost, and it will be slightly different tonight as we will not have a Spindle Clutch or a Derrig, and we will be losing our Dain at some point, and so it will mostly just be the adventures of Sim tonight, while he goes and finishes up side things and things that mostly only involved him. And what happened last time is the motley, the group of changelings, some of them are motley, some of them are not, reconvened at Sim and Derrick's hollow, where Dain was shown the ritual knife that Sim had received from the Onsel. They had more conversations about the Church of the Blessed and the various ongoings and of the former friend is a loose word for what some of them considered them, but Leland and their potential fate. And then everyone turned in for the night. Dain returned to his own hollow, and everyone in the Forge's hollow fell asleep. They had their various dreams and nightmares. Derrick's worse due to having used Spigot earlier in the day, his token. Upon waking up, they had breakfast, where they reconvened with Dain at the hollow.
He had a very interesting breakfast too, yeah.
Oh yes, the
tasty.
Derrick is an ogre, and we're not going to judge him for it. So they basically kind of roughly went over what the day's events were supposed to be, as well as kind of not necessarily rediscussed what their options were, but there was a little bit of fallout from what occurred with the Church of the Blessed and a little bit of regrouping that was happening. And they all piled into their separate cars. Derrick and Sim going in Sim's car, and Dain, Savannah, and Ro going in theirs, where they went to go speak with Reed. She informed Sim a little bit about the ritual knife that he had received, and then was essentially given the task of, hey, we have all this crap from the Black Castle, can you go through it for us, and see what's in here? To which she agreed, and then they received a call from Leland, and Leland basically said that due to his actions, their actions at the church, they now have a large target on their back, and it was decided it would be better for them to go back to New York, deal with some issues that have been cropping up with their mother, and just lay low while everyone else figured out what to do with the church, the Kings included. They then drove to the Golden Grove, where Savannah had set up a meeting with Celia, the fairest, one of the Church of the Blessed members, Jack's older sister. Upon arriving, Derrick and Sim were greeted by Spindle Clutch, an old tunnel grub, darkling seeming tunnel grub, who checked them in, and when Dain, Savannah, and Ro arrived, much to their surprise, recognized this old man as the former lore keeper of the North Ward freehold before it fell. And they reconvened, and Spindle Clutch essentially offered a pledge to them to, if they, to rebuild their court, to help in any way to get their queen back, to make the autumn court and the spring court strong again, bring it back to the glory that it was before the North Ward was attacked. And Dain and Savannah and Ro walked over to the bar to get a drink while they contemplated this proposition by Spindle Clutch, which wasn't too far off what they were hoping to achieve, at least getting the queen back. And Sim was informed by the wizened woman who answered the door that Leah was there to see them. And Leah, from the Goblin Market, came down to greet Sim to see what it was that he wanted from her. And we're going to go ahead and start with Dain. You have the opportunity to talk to Savannah about the proposal of Spindle Clutches while you are privately drinking at the bar, whatever you've decided to do in that part of the freehold. It's early, let's keep in mind. It's super fucking early in the morning. Also, this is an 18-plus stream. So, again,
18,
it's also
12.
late if you're children. But...
Well, Saba, what do you think? I mean, it's good to see Clutchy over there, but Jesus,
well,
my head has honestly been turned.
I think there's a possibility we can, rework some of what was proposed, but it's not too far off from what we wanted to do anyways. I mean, we were gonna get Val back. That was a goal anyways. And I mean, I think Val is probably gonna want to rebuild regardless. So
I mean, we need to at this point, really, don't we? I mean, what? There's what? You, me, Ro, Clutchy over there, and fuck knows how long he's got left to live. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've met rocks younger than him.
I mean, considering that he had to flush himself down a toilet to escape, I would say he's probably got a few years left.
I mean, his survival instincts are high up there, aren't they?
Yeah, well, the tunnel grubs are basically boneless. It's not to say they're not, that they're spineless or anything.
I was about to say
rude,
that spineless.
But
he is one of us.
It's true.
At the end of the day.
He's been loyal to the freehold for a while. I think we probably need to look at the proposition and maybe rework it a bit. It's entering a pledge. It's a deal, but I don't think anything he said was too far off from our goals.
But I think you're right. Ro, what's your opinion on the matter? I'm sure you have some insight.
Ro has her lollipop. I'm Spring Court, and I know that he was more talking to you guys, even though he included like my queen in it too. But I kind of agree with you, Dain. I mean, we could agree to the pledge, and then, when he has a heart attack from old age, we don't have to be a part of the pledge anymore.
Oh, you little evil mastermind, you. I think we go see this girl, and then we come back and sort the pledge stuff out later, because it's a lot to process, and he seems to have made himself real comfortable here.
I mean, yeah, he seems to have made... I mean, I think he would make himself comfortable no matter what. He seems like the type that, once invited in, he doesn't leave.
that's giving me horror images right there. Oh Jesus.
Well,
Oh,
I
oh.
mean, she kind of
Shit.
leans over
Oh.
she doesn't need to lean over you, but she leans to look
Stop,
back at
stop
Sim and
feeding,
Flood.
stop feeding off my fear there, fucking Savannah. Jesus.
I mean, um, he's kind of a local boogeyman. But I mean, his heart's in the right place. It might not be. Don't quote me on that.
I don't know where the fuck his heart is now. Probably in his arsehole.
Savannah genuinely laughs because I was about to say that same thing. It's probably in his asshole. Ah,
Alright. I say we go deal with this little problem, then we come back to
yeah.
Clutchy. I don't want Clutchy come with us.
Mm,
I think this is
I
best
don't.
kept between the Motley because
Yeah, we don't have to. We can just tell him that once we've concluded our business,
aye.
we'll come
Besides,
back. I'm sure he has something to do here. They've
I mean,
given him a
sure,
job. I'm
he's
sure
man on the desk. He's the concierge, is he not? With his free lollipops. I don't know where he hides those,
he's.
by the way, Ro. So they just
Let's
pop out of nowhere.
Ro looks at the lollipop and then kind of just, but like the look on her face is now, I'm gonna finish it, but I should have questioned this before. And Savannah's just like, I don't know why you felt the need to point that out, but thanks for that visual image because I needed it today after, the
You
toilet
know what?
flushing
You
too.
give me a fucking bad
Thanks.
image. I'll return the favor. How's that? I have nightmare fuel. You have nightmare fuel. Rose sucking a lollipop. We're all happy.
Uh, man, God, it's so good to see you again. All right,
Let's do this
let's
shit.
fucking go talk to this woman. All right. So after you guys can go talk to the wizened woman that brought Leah, and she takes you and leads you into the hollow of the Golden Grove. I'll give you one guess as to what it looks like.
Very fucking shiny.
I'm sure it looks
You step down.
very pastoral and shiny.
Mm-hmm. You step down into a room that looks, well, you know what it is. It's inside the hedge. It's magic.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like it's outside, and it has rows and rows of trees that are golden, that are sprouting golden apples, have golden leaves and golden tree trunks. And all of the houses appear to be made of marble, like ancient temples, and they have steps that lead up and doors made of stone. And you're led through this area and brought to a larger structure at the back. Same style of construction, made from the same over the top, gaudy, fairest construction, temple looking thing.
Like the Midas touch.
And you're like,
Who the fuck designed this place? Dionysus? Jesus Christ.
I mean,
Feels like
What a
one
beautiful
of their
fucking
queens,
morning. It makes me sick.
one of their queens of the fairest. She probably had something to do with it. It really does look like something out of a book. You think they could have been a little bit more clever.
Or fucking original.
it's like walking into a certain wealthy person's mansion or structure where everything is gold or gold plated just because it can be, and instead
If
of looking elegant it looks gaudy.
if you've ever read the story of the 12 dancing princesses, this emulates the second room they come to, where it is the grove of golden trees that they dance with the princes in.
Okay.
And
Do
they
you
drink
think
from golden cups. That's exactly where I got the name and the style of this from is
do
the
you
12 Dancing Princesses.
Savannah, do you think Saddam Hussein got his golden toilet from here? So all I smell is shite.
I
No.
mean, we can check the toilets if you want and see if they're also gold.
Are they handing out gold weapons too?
I mean, the normal summer court knights do have golden armor, but everyone, the maidens and the wraiths and the flowers are all wearing what's typical of their court. So the maidens are wearing silver armor, or if they have a silver bane, it's white in color. Um,
Dane's
so
gonna pat himself down.
mhm.
I knew I forgot something.
What'd you forget?
My fucking sunglasses. I can't see shit. The reflection of that fucking armor, Jesus.
You're led inside of this temple, and that's kind of what the construction is. It's very it's very temple like. And you're taken back through rows. They're gaudy statues. Um, they all appear to be forged of some kind of metal. Sim is not allowed in this hollow. Forged of some kind of metal. Um, gold, silver, brass, bronze,
Are they?
and Sim is
Are they?
I'm
so
not
excited.
there. I'm not going through this, right?
No,
Okay.
you're not gonna go through this. You are. I'm gonna finish this up, and then we're gonna go back to you
No
and
problem.
Leah in the main room, which is a hotel.
Okay.
So you're led
Are
through.
are the statues anatomically correct?
They're closed, more like you would see like the saints. They're not like Grecian statues of like Aphrodite or um Adonis. But they take you back and kind of through these winding hallways, and all the decorations are that same, just over the top vases and this and that, like it's a lot. It's a bit much. And then you're
It's
led back
pretty
to a
extra
room.
from the sound of it.
It's a real extra. You're led back to a
Do,
room with kind
do,
of a triangular archway.
do you think these people ever heard about overdoing it and underselling it? Because that's what the. They really need Queer Eye for the straight guy. Jesus.
I have the feeling that they think this is underdoing it, which is alarming
That's
all by
terrifying.
itself.
That is terrifying.
Like,
Jesus.
I'm not even sure what like, I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. Like, it looks like a temple, but like, what is it? Like, what building are we in right now? Like, what purpose does it serve? What is
Are we
this?
even in a building?
I mean,
Oh,
it's got walls. I think that's a requirement.
I mean, maybe we shouldn't be complaining. We are their guests after all. I mean, it's mostly me complaining. So
Ro is just trailing behind you with her sucker. Just, I mean, she does not like it. You can tell she really doesn't like it here. But then again, she is a woodland creature, and she doesn't like the fact that nothing here feels like it's real. And so you're led back, and this door, this kind of archway door, kind of a point, and then it goes down. The door is opened, and inside you see God, I hate the term, but like one of those like kind of harem style rooms where like
oh yeah,
it's
yeah, with the
couches
pillows and
and
stuff,
pillows
and
and like a
those big
bath in
sofa
the
things.
middle, and yep, and like lattices with hanging vines. These are the first plants you've seen that look like plants and not gold. Plants trailing down them. And you see one person in this room, and let me get my notes because no one's actually seen Celia yet. It's the first time anyone's seen her. You would recognize her. Technically, you've seen her, but like,
Hmm.
first time I'm describing her to anybody. Okay, that's Odo. Where the fuck is Celia? Did I pass her by? Where are you? Here she is. All right. So she looks very human, more so than Pippin did. But her eyes look a little bit too wide, and they are black. Her her teeth are that unnaturally straight and white,
Mm-hmm.
like when those people smile and you're like, "Mm,
Yeah, cover your eyes. Yeah.
doesn't look normal for your face." She's got pointed ears. She's probably about 6 feet tall. Her hair is this very vibrant, unnatural red, and it's braided, and it has like decorations in it. It's very pretty. And uh, she has like high cheekbones, and you can see when you look at her that the features on her are not natural. Um, but you know that they're all things that could be achieved with surgery.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to the extreme that most changeling are. And she's kind of sitting down on one of the pillows, and she looks up when you come in. And the woman that was with you, the wizened woman, basically just when you're all done, just end of the hall. I'll be down there, waiting to bring you back through. And she closes the door, and you hear her walk off.
Dan's just gonna lock eyes with her. I tell you what, love. Lawrence of Arabia wants his fucking room back. We've got something to talk about first.
All right.
I gotta go.
All right. We'll get to that. Yep.
That's
All right.
that was
And
my
that's
that
the
was my
start
little
of.
segue into. I gotta go now.
All right.
Tension.
Sorry.
Love you guys.
Bye.
See y'all later.
All right.
Left on a
So
cliffhanger. No.
I know that's a good spot to leave
Yeah.
that off on. But moving on to Sim. Leah has come down. Leah is an actual Ferris. You remember she's got the amethyst skin.
Yeah.
The wizened woman walks off when Leah like comes down.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, I heard you wanted to see me.
I almost said fig.
The count's at like 16 now.
Sim
Real see.
stand exactly. Sim
Uh-huh.
stands up. And I don't know. For some reason, Sim feels like like a little like respectful bow is probably in order or something of that nature. Just trying to make good and not be
Mhm.
not to be like so. Thank you very much for agreeing to meet with me.
Of course.
I don't know if you remember me exactly. Came through the Goblin Market last Friday, and
Mhm.
there was obviously we're needing to go back, but I was hoping that I could put together a message for some of the vendors of the Goblin Market, and if a message could be brought to them. Specifically,
yeah.
the ward ends.
All right. I mean, I can arrange for that to be delivered if you need it to be. I am there during the setup. I am the official greeter at the door. What message would you like relayed? And she pulls out like a little notebook and a pen from like her hoodie.
I actually have a draft of it that
Oh, all right.
Sim had
She
written
puts the
up.
stuff back.
So he pulls out his own paper and unfolds it and goes over it with Leah. It's basically stating that the message is that due to some unforeseen circumstances, their services will no longer be required, and if there has been any work or progress done up to a certain point,
Mm-hmm.
that Sim will make good, on
Okay.
basically like if they've done work already and
Yeah.
Sim will make good on squaring up with them on the work that they've done,
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
they can basically abandon the project.
All right. So Leah takes it and she looks it over and is like, all right, they won't get this until next Friday. Is that early enough, or do you like I can actually call around and see if it's possible to get it to them sooner if you're looking at a time crunch here, or is
Um,
Friday good enough?
it's a little bit of a time crunch, so the sooner the better,
Okay.
if possible, and if that is something that I need to, uh, pay or offer some type of service to help, move things along, I'd be willing to do that.
It
I don't.
it shouldn't be an issue. It's a little bit more work for me, just because I have to call and ask around, but I I help the vendors
Hmm,
on the off parts of the week. Um, Depending on which vendor needs help and where, it's just some of them do move around a little bit. They don't they come back for market day, or travel the hedge and make sure they're at the proper location. Um, but I know who they are. One of them works within the city at an office. She's just not always there, and talking to someone in the hedge is a little bit difficult.
yeah,
But
yeah. Understood. There would be I would be incredibly grateful to have word passed to them as fast as possible.
yeah, no, it's if for any reason I run into unforeseen trouble trying to deliver this, such as I have to go into the hedge and it's a problem, I will absolutely let you know, if you'd like to leave your contact information.
That's Yep. And Sim's got a little card. that he'll pull out. His
Of
business card actually.
course,
So
he's got a business.
yep. And uh, in addition to the contact information for the business,
Hmm.
we'll actually flip it over and write contact
His
number.
cell phone.
Yeah, his personal.
Got it. Okay.
And you can try the business first, or I'm sorry, you can try the myself first, or and if for any reason I can't, please leave a voicemail. I'll get back. So
Of course. She'll slip it in. I'll only call if there's something weird that happens or I feel like I should be compensated. Because if I can get a hold of Marion, it's going to be very simple. Otherwise, it's going to be a tad more complicated. But I will also shoot you a text. That's a cell phone number, right?
correct. Yes, it's a
And I
mobile.
will just text you when the message is delivered.
Oh, thank you so much. I truly
You're very
appreciate
welcome.
that.
Is
Uh,
is there anything else I can do for you?
no, that's it. That's all I can think of. That was it.
All right. Of
I
course.
truly appreciate your time. I understand that you probably have lots to do and super busy.
I definitely have some things I should be getting back to, but
Mhm.
you have a wonderful rest of your day. And she gives a little nod, sees herself out,
Okay.
and you are free to go about whatever business Sim has.
Okay.
The next thing Sim wants to do.
He'll go up to the bar.
All right.
just have nothing crazy. Just have like if they have like an ale or something like that, just something to wet his whistle
Yeah.
with, and take care of that. And then, so, so the next main thing was, so stuff is dropped off with Reed. Have to go meet with Nova, go over the map stuff,
Sarah.
and then also with Sarah. And what time? And it's early in the morning, correct? Okay.
It's early. You guys finished with breakfast and drove right over to the Golden Grove. You maybe spent 30 minutes, 45 minutes talking to Spindle Clutch,
Okay.
and you've probably spent about 20 minutes waiting on Leah and talking to her.
Dealing with that. Okay.
So it's probably like 10 in the morning.
Okay. Probably the next best thing to do would be to contact Nova. So
All right.
I probably would have to leave the Golden Grove to go meet with them. I'm assuming.
More than likely.
Okay.
Which means you're probably because I don't know what Derek's plan was. You may have to we'll just say that Derek is secured and taken care of, and Sim feels safe where they've set them up, and that way you're not having to worry about that without the player being here.
Right. Sim would definitely make sure that they set that up for Derek to make sure that they're taken care of, and once that's sorted out, they will check out of the hotel, as it were, and head back out to their frumpy little car.
And with no one to judge you, drive like a demon.
Exactly. I'll be like, now I will drive incredibly careful, obey all the stop signals. I'll do Claire level driving.
Okay. So are you going to call Nova, or are you going to go back to the South Ward and see Reed and then contact Nova while you're there?
I'm going to call Nova while I'm on the way. So
okay.
So
hands-free headset.
Yeah.
It rings twice before you hear hello.
Hi. I'm hoping that I could get a chance to meet with you soon, because you had mentioned that you had the blueprints and the map that we needed to go over.
Yeah, we have the blueprints. The infiltrators were able to make a decent map of the area. When and where would you like to meet? You said soon, but
I'm away. I'm heading back to. We're leaving. Golden Grove is the. Which direction is it again? The east. Or is it the?
It's the east. It's kind of northeast.
Northeast.
It's northeast.
Northeast. Okay. Because we're heading back. I'm heading back to the south freehold.
Yeah.
Okay.
The South Ward. Yeah, the South Ward was south. Yeah. The North Ward was north.
Okay.
Of course, and then the Golden Grove and the Minstrel's Rest are relatively close to each other, and then the Ferryman Freehold is down near the docks.
Okay, got it. Okay. So I'm actually headed back down to the south hold, but I can make a detour. I can meet wherever you feel also would be the most, I guess, clandestine to review this information. Obviously, a place that you feel is secure and wouldn't be an issue.
You have a workshop in your forge, yes?
Of course, yes. Naturally.
Well, we only need a table big enough to spread the blueprints out on, and I'm assuming one of your workbenches would be sufficient?
Yes, absolutely. So,
all right. Then yeah. I will meet you at your shop in 20 minutes.
Perfect. Okay. See you then.
All right.
All right.
See you then.
Sim will be like, what condition did I leave my shop in?
Panic. Immediate panic.
Now I'm driving like a demon to get there. We're like,
Go ahead and roll. Just fuck.
Exactly. Hold on. Go to the desk box here. And
The very fancy lady. Okay.
all right.
What? Did you not do well?
One success.
Oh no. You. Okay.
I get pulled over for a ticket, don't I? Shit.
Nope. That is if you botch the roll. If you completely botch
No
the roll, you're going to
successes,
get
okay.
pulled over, and you don't have a license. So that's why it's a botch. Because I'm not going to do that to you unless you royally fuck it up. But you definitely have taken the mirror out on someone's parked car, which has left another dent in yours. You have ran a red light. Luckily, you know that it's one of the ones that doesn't have the camera on it to give you a ticket, but you definitely get honked at and almost smashed into. You could hear the squeal of the tires as that person hits their brakes. Like, it's this close. And you don't stop, and I'm sure someone's probably called to complain about you, but you've made it to your shop. It's locked up the same way you left it when everyone took off this morning, and it is empty. And you are actually there by yourself for the first time in a long time.
Okay. Go in. Unlock it. Still leave the signs up that we're closed and everything for the moment.
Yep.
But I'll go through, I'll run through, and I'll go through the main store area, head to the back, go past the where we have the point of sale system, head into the actual forge area, and check the forge area and adjacent workspaces and tidy up a little bit. I'll be like, okay.
Well, and you're the one that has to determine what Sim would have left out, like what it would have looked like when you walked in, because you're the one that it's your shop. And you...
Exactly. There would definitely have been some tools that would have been left out. So some of the tools put away. Aprons were probably hanging. Some work aprons were probably hanging all over the place. So those got hung back up, and also anything that actually needed to hit the laundry bin is in the laundry.
Hit the laundry bin.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so he's like,
balling
up the stuff and like
tossing it,
throwing it into the. Probably right as she walks in.
I'm assuming that even though the shop is closed, you did leave that door unlocked for her to walk through.
Yes.
All right. And you hear the jingle of that bell about 10 minutes after you've arrived. So you've had about 10 minutes to because your shop is not that far from the freehold. And so the ding-a-ling-a-ling of the bell as she walks in, and her call out, hello.
And I'll be like, come through this door right here, and Sim will open up the door that goes past where the main like gallery sort of area is, and where the customers mainly browse for everything, and bring her back into the workplace area, where there's actually there's there's tables and workbenches and stuff set up for doing all different types of different mediums of art. Like if he needs to work with pottery, or if he needs to work with paints, or if he needs to work with what have you. And
she politely, she looks at stuff but does not touch. Like she's very proper. She's a proper lady. So she looks around but she doesn't touch anything, and she comes up and essentially unrolls the map onto your workbench and is like, so this is
what the infiltrators got. Okay.
and basically it's much like blueprints. It's actually several stacks of paper that are rolled up together, and so it's like, this is the top layer, this is floor 1, or main floor, floor 2, basement level 1, basement level 2, basement level 3, and basement level 4.
Okay. Wow. So
It's
4 basement levels? Okay.
There are 4 basement levels.
Okay.
The actual church structure.
Okay.
So it's 6 floors in all if you count the actual church structure. Is the smallest part of the whole thing. Because those grounds I told you about that are fairly large, especially in comparison to the actual church that's on it, the basement levels are about as wide as that property.
Okay.
So the church is a much smaller blueprint. The main church area shows like the actual worship room, or where the pews and the actual any kind of sermon or whatever would have taken place. And then there's an upper level that has a couple of it's got like the balcony seating, and then a couple rooms that's like a little kitchen and things you find in a normal church, an area for children, a room where they keep the various instruments,
dining area,
various
place for food, place for hanging out, games room, puzzles, stuff like that.
Things like that are essentially what are on the first the first top two layers of the actual church itself. Now, the next, if I could find my fucking notes on this, I thought I grabbed all of the things. I did not grab all of the things. I did. Here it is. Okay. So on the next level down, you see rooms, and they're roughly mapped out based upon quick examinations. You do know, Nova explains to you that they didn't scour this building, but they got enough to get an idea of where everything was. So you see that each of these rooms have 2 different labels to them. So the first floor, the first lower levels, has a room labeled the workshop.
Okay.
And below that, it says surgery suite on one of the rooms.
Okay.
They have the reflection chamber. And all this one says is mirrors.
Okay.
Another one of the rooms there that's labeled. I will have to send you actual blueprints of this. But it says the Watchers. And then below that, it says the security room. There is a door labeled, or a room labeled gingerbread house. And there's a slash mark that says incinerator.
The gingerbread house / incinerator, or gingerbread house and then also something called incinerator?
Yeah, basically what you're looking at. So let me pull up let's see if I can pull up a piece of paper and kind of give an example of how this is laid out. So it would be like, this is not going to be 100% accurate, but right. So door, this drawing is very shitty. Door, this is just a hallway. So it would say, let me do that better so it's readable. So, and then let's do. I can't spell. We're not judging my spelling. So, okay. So it would be set up like, if you look, it says like this, it would say workshop, and then the same room has surgery suite. So it's a gingerbread house, and then there'd be a dash or a slash, and then it would say incinerator. So it's what the name of the room is to the church and what it actually is.
Gotcha. Okay.
So like each of them have a name that doesn't match what's inside, but the church would know what it is. So it's basically, this is how this was labeled, but this is what it is.
Gotcha.
So it gives you a rough idea of what they saw. I dropped all my fucking papers. So let me go back to where my notes on that were, because there were a couple there. So then that's what the main things on that were. You saw several workshops. So there were several surgical suites, plus the incinerator, plus the reflection chamber. So the next floor down has the butterfly garden.
Okay.
And this is the other label on it is sleeping quarters.
Okay.
Okay. The Oasis.
Okay.
And that one's the cafeteria.
Okay.
The next one, just, excuse me, let me clear my throat. Says the green grass fields.
Okay.
It's a workout room. So it says it's / workout room. And then there's one at, there's another one on this floor called the Dreamer's Den. The / to this one says unknown with a question mark.
Dreamer's Den. Okay. All right.
The next room down has the Iron Room. The / to that is couldn't get in.
No access. Okay.
No access.
Got it. Okay.
The Treasure Vault, which you know to be the Heart Room. And it does say this one also says could not enter, but the Treasure Vault is what Leland said he got it from.
Okay.
So the Warrens. No, not the Warrens. Sorry, that one's not there.
Okay.
I fucked up my order. It's fine. Don't write that down. Yeah, it's the Treasure Room, the Iron Room. Okay. The Mermaid House. Couldn't get in. The Wishing Well.
Okay.
Couldn't get in.
Okay.
The last section Area 4 has the depth.
The depth.
The depth.
Okay.
I can't say that I have my big ass teeth makes this word hard for me to say. The depth.
Got it.
Like the deep, like deep below depth.
Oh,
depth.
I get exactly what you're talking about.
The fathomless depths. And that one also says couldn't get in.
No access. Okay.
No access. And then the Warrens. This is where the Warrens are. The Warrens.
The Warrens.
And below and slash that it says Project White Rabbit. Now you do know from nope, I don't Dain. When Dain was talking in fucking oh my god. Dain asked Jack where the Grindylows where the Grindylow was kept.
Right.
In Leland's house in the Hollow. And in front of everyone, Jack said the bottom floor. So since there's only 2 rooms here, the depths is more than likely where the Grindylow. You, as Sim, would kind of be able to put 2 and 2 together with that.
Okay.
They couldn't get into the iron room that the Grindylow is kept in. And that is all of that is what the layout of this is.
Sim studies those names and labels and stuff for a few moments. Dreamer's Den sounds like a problem. Iron Room, maybe an armory of weapons.
We couldn't get into the room. It had iron in it, so it was made of iron. The room itself.
Got it.
That's why they couldn't get in.
Oh, well, it's either that or think they're holding something in that room of significant power.
Possibly.
Gosh,
I mean, there seemed to be a couple that were made solidly of iron that we couldn't get into.
A different Truffet, maybe? I mean, we know that they are holding one already. If they have more than one, that's amazing. That's terrifyingly amazing.
I would hope that they don't have more than just one, but there are several true Fae that get stuck here. It's possible that they have found another one that the Onsel didn't tell them about. You told her about that, right?
Yeah. Oh, I would have shared that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you told her that at dinner when you were fucking with her drink. This was just this was just their initial investigation.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say Sim is passing on to Nova anything of note regarding the Onsel, because that's just like, this is going on and Derek's wrapped up in this and shit. Okay, that would probably be like when she mentions the Onsel, I'll be like, Sim will kind of wince and be like,
oh,
yeah, when we get done discussing this map, I got a few things to share about some recent developments with the Onsel.
All right. Well, what we're going to be trying to flesh the map out a little bit better. I know with the recent events that occurred at the church that they're probably doubling down on some security, but the Darklings are incredibly talented at hiding themselves and squeezing into tight places and being unseen. And the Kings were going to try to send them in again, another group, to see if they could potentially not necessarily get into the rooms of iron, but maybe get a better idea of what all those other places are.
I have serious concerns about their safety, considering the last breach that occurred. But I trust that the kings and of course, ones like yourself are going to take every precaution.
Well, my job is to stay at the freehold and protect it. They're more than likely not going to send me to the church at all unless we're going to be all out laying siege to it. But
Yeah. Sim will take a look at the map location and point out where himself and Derek went into. And said, look,
yeah, you would have gone down onto the first level. And if you look at how the church is laid out for the top part, you would have actually come in, and the first one of these weird rooms you would have come to would have been actually the gingerbread house, the incinerator room.
Okay.
That hallway would have led you down to that doorway.
Okay. That's where I had to follow Derek in. There were guards that were posted. Safe to say that they were equipped to handle individuals like us. But
unsurprising.
Exactly. And Sim will kind of just like be rubbing his hands together and like, you know how like when you have alcohol, that kind of light alcohol on fire and it just kind of it'll just kind of go like that. That will flare over his fingers lightly at the mention of going down into the area where they encountered the guards explicitly at that topic. He'll just be kind of like, he'll just be kind of like rubbing his hand like this, and she'll see like just like that brief flicker of just flame just go across his hands.
Why you gotta be like that, by the way? Why was that? Seriously? Rude. Anyways. Yeah, it wasn't nice. The message you sent?
What message?
With the picture? The picture you took! Rude. Anyways. Really, really nice shot of my makeup, though. I'm gonna give myself credit for that.
That one, yes.
So, Nova will kind of lean, not forward, like not way up close.
Right.
Especially if you have fire going, because ice elemental. But
it's brief. It's like a brief, just like just kind of goes over.
But still, if she notices it and she's just like, okay, we're not gonna stand super close because boundaries and because it's fire. Because actually, I may have made this difficult for everybody. Let me double check Nova's sheet, because I think one of her problems is it. Am I that dumb?
Oh no, she doesn't have like a derangement or fragility regarding flame, does she?
I'm checking.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I don't remember.
No, she doesn't.
Okay.
She has. I for a brief hot second, I was like, does she?
I don't recall seeing that on her sheet. So
she has a different problem that's pretty terrible. So good for her. I gave this to her. I made her this problem. It's fine. So she'll kind of lean over and just we know that they probably have a couple more secret entrances into this church that have remained hidden. But it's a really good thing you didn't get that far inside.
I fully agree. Um, my main concern was making sure that Derek was safe, and unfortunately, he was rather persuaded in the moment.
Yeah.
And well, I tried my best to talk him out of it. I mean, I can't make him. Well, I mean, I probably could, but it would hurt him terribly, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Ever. But
yeah.
So I did the next best thing I could. I kept those that were seeking to do us harm from that.
It's
And then we got out as soon as possible. And then, amazingly enough, well, as you're aware of the rest of the story, Leland comes flying out of nowhere with with Jack, and then and amazingly enough, I think Dain was about to do something incredibly dangerous, and I'm not surprised that he just didn't take off. I mean, he was under no obligation to be there, and I told him as much. I was just like, you make your own choice. You go if you want. I mean, I gotta at least protect Eric. But it sounds like they were going to do something dangerous, and thankfully, it didn't compound the situation. We got out as soon as we could, but I have to tell you, Nova, we didn't go there with the intention of doing any of that. That was not the plan at all. Our plan was not to make this situation more difficult for you. And I feel incredibly shitty about that. Just so as you know.
Well, I do believe that was never your intention. And I understand that situations sometimes get away from us, especially when we're dealing with a lot of other people. And I am glad that you are safe and that Derek is safe. And you are a good friend for choosing to help. Now, I am aware of the circumstances of that too, with, the pledges and the things that bind us, but
yeah,
it was still good of you.
Well, thank you. It was the least I could do, given everything. But so I have a thought.
All right.
In addition to all this wonderful work, this amazing work that the infiltrators have done, well, first off, we got a couple things because we went to the market recently. I picked up something that I just want to give a shot. I don't know how exactly it might work out, and maybe you have some insight into it. If you don't, no biggie. But before we get too down that road, so yeah, while we were at the church, I was contacted by the ensemble.
Oh.
Yeah. Just popped right in there. Hey, I need to come talk to you. No, whatever is. I think I don't know. She or they are kind of mad.
Mm.
Excuse me. Probably.
Why? Why would they be mad?
Well, for starters, um, and Sim's going to utilize that contract of the wild and just have some lightning bugs appear in the shop.
I'm assuming that Roe didn't help you with this.
No.
Hmm.
I ate one of her bugs.
So I have just a couple of questions. One, why would you want to eat bugs? And then two, why her bugs?
That wasn't the plan. I was originally going to. I had captured one of them. I had captured one of the lightning bugs,
Mm-hmm.
fireflies, um, and had them stowed away. And I was going to study them a little bit, just to kind of see, maybe even use them as something for like trade or bargaining or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. That was the first thought, but
Mm-hmm.
got to looking at the situation some more, just got to seeing how things were going, and yeah, before I knew it,
Before
it was an incredibly impulsive decision.
before you knew it. And so you think that she is upset because you consumed a small amount of her power, which for an entity like her is still a great amount of power.
Possibly. Uh, let me finish. Let me finish the discussion, and then you can see
Okay.
if that's it or not. We went to go. I went to go visit them, obviously, because Derek is in the midst
Mm-hmm.
of completing their debt and quest that they're on, the task that's been set for them. What she came to spoke to me about specifically was not interfering with the hedge wand. She's after the hedge wand, the fancy stick, as you've probably heard Derek refer to it as.
Oh, yes.
And I had a plan, or was attempting to put a plan in motion to tamper with the wand and cause it to hopefully. I was hoping at the very least it would take her not exactly where she intended to go, hopefully backfire upon her, a hex in some manner, so that when she went to utilize the wand, it would not, let's say, explicitly obey her. If the wand happened to be left behind and she went somewhere where she could just be away and not bother anyone, great. Wonderful piece of luck. But I really just wanted to see that entity gone and put somewhere where they hopefully expired alone and afraid. But that got cut short.
Now, question,
Yes.
how exactly did the Ansel find out that you were planning to tamper with the hedge wand?
That's a very good question. I don't know how they found out. It's been bothering me. Trust me. Somebody she either found out through someone that is associated with us. She found out because the only persons that knew of my intent
Mm-hmm.
was Derek, Derek to some degree, Savannah and Ro, and the people who I spoke with and met with at the market, specifically the ward ends. Now, I didn't mention the on-sale specifically, but mentioned about, focused on the artifact of the hedge wand itself, and hypothesized if that such a item were to exist, what could be done with it? And they said, could be this, could be that.
Now, for storyteller, for your reference, what the Ansel had said was that she wanted you to basically like relent in giving her the hedge wand, and that she wanted you to just let Derek bring it to her and
not cause
essentially not cause an issue, let her have it, let her take it with you, because Sim said, I don't want you to have it. Like, he flat out told her in her hollow.
Yes, I did do that.
I don't want you to take it with you. So she was like, this is mine and I'm taking it with me. That was her bargain, was I want you to let Derek do his job and bring me the wand and let me have it and let me take it with me and let it be mine.
So it was actually
interfering. And I don't want you to interfere with that. That's what she said. I don't want you to interfere with me getting the hedge wand.
Okay, so it's not actually
that was her.
tampering.
That was the pledge you made.
It's actually getting it, not tampering with it. Okay.
She never said that you couldn't fuck with it because she doesn't know what your plan is. No one told her. She just doesn't want you to interfere with her getting it and taking it with her.
Okay, I'll revise what I mentioned to Nova then, because that
was
a misstep.
Just because it. One of the conversations happened months ago. The other one happened like 2 weeks ago. So like, it's totally understandable. But I just for your reference, she wasn't saying, don't trap this. Don't, she was basically just saying, don't interfere. This is mine and I'm taking it with me. And,
okay, so
and
she
you need to let that happen.
Based on what Sim said, she anticipated like Sim being like, I'm not letting you have it.
Trying to
like taking it from her
or trying to snatch it from her, like trying to pull a fast one. Like she opens the portal, you run up and you yank it out of her, like something.
Of course. Yeah.
To keep her from having it. And so she's just trying to
what Sim needs to find is a fig and have
Fig trip her dear legs.
And have Fig fashion out of chemistry a wand.
Yeah, basically, yeah. She doesn't want you to interfere with her getting it. Yeah. She doesn't want you to interfere with her getting it, using it, or taking it with her. Those were her things, because she assumes that Sim is going to either try to renegotiate and be like, I'm taking this, or is going to try to snatch it from her last minute, or, because of what Sim said. But she had no idea about the booby trapping. I was trying to make my words that vague of interfere. Like, don't interfere with what Derek needs to do. Don't interfere with me getting my item. Don't interfere with me taking my item. This is mine. Yep.
Okay. So
totally good.
What I'll mention to Nova then is, so revising of that. She didn't want me to interfere with it. Interfere with handing it over. But
with her possession of it either. She was making sure that you didn't try to take it from her. She was going to take it with her to the Arcadia, and you didn't want her to.
Correct.
So that she was basically like, I'm taking it with me too, and you're not going to bother me with that.
To which I pledged that I would.
I doubt you had a choice at that point, but.
Well, I asked for something in return.
Oh?
And that's when Sim's gonna open up the little bag that he has and take out the knife.
It's rusty. it's gone back to looking just like shit.
It's going to set it upon the workbench adjacent to the map
Mm-hmm.
and go and just feel upon it for just a few seconds until he knows that spot where it is, and then
Mm-hmm.
activate its true
It's
nature.
Yep, beautiful blade. And Nova looks at it and is like, I mean, that looks like a ritual knife.
It is.
Mm.
It's for
Why?
you're probably going to think I'm crazy. um, it's unfortunately I've learned since from a little bit with Reed that it's exacts a tremendous price for usage. I anticipated that to a certain degree, but it's obviously not such a token to be used unless it's an absolute dire need.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that dire need and or scene that I was potentially envisioning, as ridiculous as this may sound, would be to take the Onsel's own heart. I'll burn that
Are you
bridge.
sure that's are you sure that's how the blade works? What do you know of it?
I know that it is a blade that can be used to remove or replace the hearts of changelings. I thought it would probably work on them as well, but I'm not 100% sure. I need to I need to find out more.
Well, we did. I was in the room when Leland was presented to the kings, and they did say that you had the heart of a true fae.
We do. Um, I think its fate is destined for something else, so I don't know how much leverage we'll have exactly.
Well,
Um,
what I was saying is that the hearts of the true fae can be removed if you have one.
exactly.
Said it works on Changeling, but clearly something was able to remove this true fae's heart, which means they're not invulnerable.
Exactly. I don't know if this would explicitly do it, though. But you're absolutely right. Yes, their hearts can be removed.
Mm.
I don't know if this will do it. But I
Well,
aim
the
to
only way
find
to
out.
test it yeah, would be to find a true fae to test it on.
Well, and that was another thread of all these different things that I'm thinking of. um, it would be, but it hinges upon finding the hedge one first.
Mm.
My goal is that if we are able to attain the head one, I abandoned having the ward ends considering tampering with the wand in place of bargaining with the Grindylow.
The Grindylow,
That's the heart. That's the
you're
true
going
Fey heart.
to you're gonna bargain with that thing?
Not me specifically alone, but it is. There's a lot contingent upon the fact that we have their heart. I know they want it back.
Yeah.
And there's things in play with Dain, potentially Derek, Dain for certain.
Yeah.
But the part that I'm looking at is being a true fae. Let's you make this wand do what I want it to do, and we won't, hurt your heart. We'll give you your heart back,
Now,
or part of it.
the true fae are very illogical creatures, but they tend to be true to their words, and they tend to be true to their words because they believe that their words have power over them and therefore lock themselves into their pledges and their oaths. And it is their own belief that binds them. Just keep that in mind.
It's a lot to consider. They were very mad.
The Ansel?
Of course. Probably when Derek mentioned their true name. Very nonchalantly.
Derek has this true fae's real name.
Yeah. And I heard it. I know that those pieces must be able to come together in some manner.
Well, there are plenty of entities, other chain or other true fae that would actually pay a very high price for the name of one of their fellows.
I know. Here's the main thing, Nova. I feel the reason why I have it out for the Ansel is because they took advantage of Derek. I realized that Derek went to go speak with them and his heart was in the right place. But he got taken advantage of and she knew it. Like she should. And I want to make her pay. And when he mentions that, like, there's a kind of to his face, and just like for the briefest of moments, there's like an ember kind of glow of flame that just kind of briefly shoots out of his nose, just kind of like a, just kind of like that. So,
And I know that it feels like, look, we were all at some point taken advantage of. And I know that revenge feels really good, like it's a tangible thing that you can grasp by making one of these things pay for what the whole of them have done. But
am I grasping
despite
it? Okay. Go ahead.
Despite what they despite the fact that the Ansel is here helping, stuck here, whatever her fucking case may be, she's still very dangerous, Sim. And this could backfire on you.
That's what I wanted to check in with you, Nova, about. I might need someone to tell me that. I might need someone to tell me that I'm not playing with a full deck. and the cards are stacked against me. And I'm not seeing the
Look,
hand for what it is.
I am a tactician.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the things that I am good at. It is one of the things that I do for the court.
Mm-hmm.
And I assure you, if you present me with a plan, a full plan, that I will tell you what I think of that plan, if I think it falls down in areas, such as with the Grindylow. As I stated, they're only bound by their word because they believe their word is what binds them. The Grindylow could very easily honor whatever agreement you make, could very well do these things for you, but then you still have the Grindylow to contend with. What if they decide that your cleverness or the way that you decided to spite one of their own is a desirable trait, and they decide to take you back with them once they're free? You can make enemies of these things just as fast as you can make allies of them. They don't follow rules, really not even their own. It's just something to consider, because if you don't look at it from all angles, and well, maybe you necessarily can't look at it from all angles, but you can at least try. And that is something that should definitely be considered when trying to make another agreement with a different Trufe.
Understood. Sorry. Yeah. I do try to plan, Nova. I really do. Um, sometimes the sometimes the rush of passion to just move on something overtakes what should be something that should be thought out more. So
That is the nature of fire. But that's why you said that you would consult me, and you have other people to consult who can potentially help you look at other angles from something, maybe something you couldn't see yourself because in that moment, or um, pardon my pun, but yes, in the heat of the moment, it seems like a sound idea. Um, Whereas, there's nothing wrong with asking help. There's nothing wrong with getting a different viewpoint. There's nothing wrong with trying to have all your bases covered. And I know that Derek helps you with that. And I'm sure this Dain fellow, for apparently the very risky thing they were about to do, would also try to be a voice of reason.
yeah. Thank you, Nova. I appreciate
Yeah.
you throwing cold water on the situation. I know that that's usually meant as a negative, but in this case, it's a positive.
Well, I'm glad that you think it's a good thing. Then again, the only water I like is cold, anyways. I'm a little bit sensitive to heat now, but
Mm, yes. I was just messing with your drink that one time at the restaurant. I didn't mean anything by it.
it's not like you boiled it in the glass, Sim. You just removed the froth. Now, if you had boiled my water and broken the glass in the process, I probably would have been a tad upset. But
These are all good considerations, so I thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So that being said, even with the situation with the Ansem,
Mm-hmm.
I have. He's going to look around and goes over to a bag that he has near one of his workbenches, and he's going to pull out
Mm-hmm.
the Every Which Way.
Oh, yep. All right. So you pull
So,
out the every which way.
going to replace the knife. Going to take the knife token back, put that in a safe place on his person,
Mm-hmm.
and then now, and then Leia, have you ever seen anything like this before? I'm gonna lay out the map. What I was told.
Her Leah.
What's that?
You called her Leah.
Oh, I did. Oh,
You said Leah. Have you ever seen something like this?
Oh crap! I meant to say Nova. Sorry.
I know.
That was
I just wanted to let you know.
my screw
It's
up.
okay.
Sorry,
No.
so that's my screw up. I said, "Have you ever seen anything like this before?" And he'll lay it out, and
I assume this is another token.
it is. What I was explained how this one would work is that if you focus on it, if you focus on, if you actuate, if you visualize something that you're looking to map out, you focus and you concentrate on that. The Every Which Way is supposed to show you a path
Okay.
to said destination.
All right.
Most of the time it's accurate, but does have a small percentage of not being accurate.
Okay.
Now, I think where this could be useful is you were mentioning the other secret entrances that might have not been discovered.
Correct.
I wonder if this map maybe can divine where those secret entrances are.
I mean, if you think it's possible, but do you know what price it extracts yet? Do you know what the catch is?
Not 100% certain on the catch.
Mm.
I hadn't had time to experiment it yet.
Understandable. It's you have to visualize what you want it to map out. So something like the Church of the Blessed, you could use the blueprints and the fact that you've been there, like actually at the location, the grounds, as a way to see if it's going to give any more information.
All right, I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay. If anything happens, just grab me.
All right. I mean, I can do that.
Doesn't know what's gonna happen, so he doesn't know if it's like...
She winks at you.
Flesh is a little red, but otherwise okay. He's just like, because he realizes
She's being
says.
funny. Yeah, she's just being funny.
Oh, cool. Okay. Let's see here. So let me head to the dice box. I'm assuming there is a roll.
Yes, it's your occult and your intelligence.
Okay. Excellent.
And if you botch it, that's when you get something totally different.
Okay.
Than what you were intending. That's why I said it's mostly accurate.
And I need to include what would be the equivalent. I've lost a glamour. So I need to include the the representation of the.
Oh yes,
the
yeah.
hunter.
If you're
I've-
missing glamour, you need the representation of that.
I forgot to
Yeah.
do that in the last roll, so I'm adding it to this one. And
Okay.
let me make sure I have the right amount. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Just a couple of successes.
How many?
Just 2.
Just 2. Only a couple. Okay, it's not a botch. So it does show you a map.
Okay.
And the map, very similarly, is kind of the layout of what the blueprints are on a much smaller scale.
Okay.
But you can see pictures, pictograms of like little there's a name for them on the map and I've completely forgotten what that is, but essentially
you're talking about
yes.
the legend? Okay.
Okay. And the legend shows pictures of what you imagine match the various things in the gingerbread. It's not technically on the legend, but yeah, like it would be like the picnic table. But it shows like fire on the gingerbread house. The mirror room shows a mirror. The iron room shows an iron maiden.
Oh. Wow. Are you getting this, Nova?
Yeah, Nova is looking over at it with you and kind of looks a little bit horrified at that one.
Okay.
And you see a mermaid over where the Grindylow, what you assume to be the Grindylow, the depths. The Warrens has a very weird mix. The entire room, all the space on that part of the map are filled with what look like various animals and humans and parts, and it's red. It's very like beneath and in between these various elements is just red, and it covers almost all of the words. You can still read the Warrens on it, but it's almost like the map can't figure out what it's doing. And it's the
like
pictures
glitching?
of animals and the pictures of are shifting.
Okay.
And it sometimes it's pieces and parts and sometimes it's whole things. The red is what stays consistent underneath the whole thing.
Okay.
And then a couple of the other rooms don't have symbols at all on them. You didn't roll high enough for all of the rooms to do it.
I'll try
the wishing well, the dreamer's den, things like that. They don't have pictures. But my notes on all of these are right here. There's one other one that you notice that has a picture is the Toyland. And it has a Toyland. Sorry, did I not name that one off? Toyland is on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
And it just says menagerie.
Okay.
That's on Nova's maps notes. It says menagerie. And the room is called the Toyland.
Okay.
On that one, on your map, the Every Which Way, it has a circus tent.
On the Toyland.
Yes. Really? The rest don't have anything. And obviously with what's happening with the Warrens, you're wondering if maybe it could be that you didn't roll high enough, or it could be that
Uh,
something is wrong with the map, or it could be that
so yeah,
something is wrong with the room.
so Sim will be focusing as best as they can on it,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're just gonna like and then get most of that information and begin to make some notes, but then just start to feel disoriented by how things are kind of switching around and just kind of be like, ah,
Nova will kind of move forward, like kind of half between you and the map. And when she does that, it's cold. She gives off this, it's cold. Like
mm-hmm.
your temperature kind of drops a little bit, which
Okay.
um she kind of steps in front of you looking at the map. Um,
Okay.
do you need me to pull you away, or are you okay?
Uh, just pull me away. Um, it's
Pull you away. All right. She'll grab onto you, and it she's so cold. She's so cold, Sim. And so and she moves you away from the table back towards the other side of the shop, and it
in
burns almost, but it
yeah,
burns the opposite way that fire
right,
burns.
right. In response,
It
it's
burns.
almost
What?
an unconscious response when the cold is felt,
Mm-hmm.
and has that icy burning that I
Yep.
know exactly what you're talking
That
about.
frostbite. Yep.
Yeah, that frostbite kind of burn.
Mm-hmm.
While he's dealing with kind of like the small headache that just kind of like cropped up from looking at
Mm-hmm.
the map. Um, just the ambient heat of his skin will just his body will just kind of flare up. Not fire, no, not actual flame,
Yeah.
but just the heat will rise. The temperature will rise. The
Yeah.
thermostat has been turned up a little bit.
Yeah.
so,
So Nova moves you back
mm-hmm.
away from the map so that you're
Mm-hmm.
not looking, like you're far enough away that you're not looking at it anymore,
Okay.
and she kind of stays in front of you.
Okay.
I she's 5'7", so she's about the same height as Sim.
Right.
And then she backs up,
Okay.
still in front of you, so you're not looking directly at the map on the table. And you see that like her skin where she touched you is burnt, like beyond what a normal person's skin would look like had they touched you. It's red, it's raw, and in places it looks almost like she's kind of melting a little bit. Um,
Sim will he'll kind of rub his head. He'll just kind of be rubbing his head, just kind of like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, and then notice and just be like, oh, Nova, oh my gosh,
it was my fault.
I'm sorry.
I no, it's we both have the ability to prevent this from happening. Protection from elements, you could have avoided her hurting you too with that
Yep.
contract.
Yep.
So she just didn't activate it. She just grabbed you and moved you.
Yep.
And so
I have the same thing. Yep. Sorry, it was heat of the moment situation. He'll chuckle.
Anyways, it's fine. I can heal this, no problem. You said you needed to be pulled away, and I reacted. And I could have easily protected myself from being hurt, but I don't know how many other elementals you've encountered, but with fire and ice, it's not nearly as bad as fire and water. I wouldn't have been able to help you if I were a water elemental, because it would have hurt you more than it hurt me. But as an ice elemental, it just kind of evened out a little bit. We did the same amount of damage to each other. Air and fire are the two elementals that wouldn't have a problem touching you.
I see. I honestly don't, actually, now that you mention it. Not a whole lot of elementals around, besides yourself. I don't.
There are a couple more in the freehold, but
I haven't run into them. I've been pretty busy, and or other things have been going
probably
on.
for the best. Yeah. No, she's a delight. What is her name? Taylor. Taylor. You would know Taylor.
Okay.
Taylor is a fire elemental, but she doesn't look like Sim. And the only time you've ever encountered Taylor, she was very violent and being dragged away. You basically caught sight of her, and she had bitten a chunk out of someone's shoulder and was being like yanked away to another room.
Getting yeeted into someplace. Okay.
Yeet.
You're going.
She actually she has a position within the freehold that she probably shouldn't have because she is really unstable, but it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
She's summer court. So you wouldn't have interacted with her nearly as much, even though they occupy the same freehold, because she is a different court than yours.
Understood. So okay, all right, but yeah, well, in that being the case, Sim will mention to Nova then, but like, other than yourself, I think there was Taylor, the one time.
Yeah, I usually get called in to deal with Taylor.
Sim will chuckle. It will be like,
I am her timeout a lot of the times.
Ooh. So you go in and chill her out.
I wasn't going to say it. I was going to refrain. It's very easy to make those comments, but yes, that is what I do. I am called to chill her out.
I'm sorry, Nova. It is really low hanging.
It's only when she needs to be put on ice.
Oh man. Oh. She gets cold shoulder.
I'm the best at giving people the cold shoulder.
Oof. So, well, that was actually enlightening. I think I'm gonna need to rest for a little bit. That map definitely sent me for a bit of a loop, but I think that was some good progress.
So what happened when the map sent you for a loop, by the way, Sim, for your knowledge? The catch to that is you have lost your ability to use Find the Path.
Okay.
For 24 hours.
All right.
If you do not have Find the Path, I know you do, but if you don't, it requires blood and glamour to make the map work. It will only work for someone without the use of blood and glamour if they have the contracts of the hedge.
Okay. Is it Find the Path or Pathfinder?
Sorry, Pathfinder. It's Pathfinder. Okay. I've forgotten what I named the things I created because I don't have it in front of me, and it's been a hot minute since I've created it. But yes,
worries. So I'll just
Pathfinder.
I'll just make a note of that.
Yeah, it's just for 24 hours, which means essentially you're going to have to rotate in the hedge using that map with somebody else that has that ability. And that way, not everyone is stuck. You have one person that can use contracts of the hedge and another person who's using the map.
Okay, got it.
Ro has those contracts though, and you know that. So, because she has to find goblin, so you know that she has a really high level in that contract.
Okay. Well, thank you for all your help and assistance, and
of course.
Anything else that I can cover, and anything else that I found out, I will get that information to you as fast as possible.
Of course.
And when I feel up to it to tackling the map again, I'll see what I can dig up. But we have the notes on what we found so far. Okay.
I'm also sorry that I hurt you.
Same. But it's next time.
Don't worry.
Next time we'll
you didn't hurt me that bad. We'll use protection.
That's what I was just gonna say. Next time we'll use protection from elements.
You promise?
I promise. We'll make sure that I'll make sure that that's active before anything might happen. So, but thank you.
I would too.
And then he's gonna glance at the time and just be like, "Oh man, I have to go head off to deal with something with Sarah. Oh boy."
All right. I can take off. I'll let you know when we get an updated, more detailed version of the map after the infiltrators go back in, and I'll keep you appraised of what the kings want to do, and
okay.
I will talk to you later. And she walks by you as she's leaving, and just she takes her hand and she kind of runs it down your shoulder. Not like she's not being weird or creepy about it, but like, and when she does it, it doesn't hurt you like it did when she grabbed on. It's just, you feel that same little bit of cold.
Okay.
And it's kind of more, she's doing it more to show you, hey, like,
this will work.
There's a reason that it hurt, and that's just because,
Yeah, she did just doing what she needed to do, and just be like, just working him off. So,
like a small pat on the shoulder or a brush is not going to hurt you. It's not like you have to stand 10 feet or 6 feet apart to be like, hey, hi, how's it going?
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
And then she'll leave the shop and get in her car.
All right. She drives a nice car, right?
I really, really wanted it to be a Nova, but I think we decided it was an Evo. I'm hilarious. No.
Anyways, I love it. Okay.
It's a bad joke, but
that's great though. Okay. So do you want to run through anything with Sarah, or do you want to wrap up for the night? Because it is getting midnight.
It is getting late. It depends. What did you want to talk to? Like, were you going to talk to Sarah about something specific?
The main thing I was going to discuss with Sarah is that wanted to kind of have the conversation under the guise of following back up on her project and seeing how progress was going and all that fun stuff, and been like, hey, sorry, been sidetracked, been busy with other stuff going on, but wanted to circle back around on what's going on with your art project, because I know it's important for you. And then work that...
Of which she's gonna not be upset and not sad about it being broken, but wanting to and very confused.
Right. And then perhaps using the segue of like, oh crap, my clay broke and this happened and things... she'll probably think of like the somebody screwed with the temperature settings in the studio and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
To which Sim would be like, oh, let me take that as an opportunity to get you some more materials, and then utilize the contracts of the dream to... All
right, so I think that we can end it here, because I'm going to have to give you some information before we get into that scene. Right. That's just going to be kind of jargon for the game. So let's just go ahead and wrap up here, and then we can have the Sim and Sarah situation.
Awesome.
Because it's going to be a situation next time.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
We did it.
Oh, that was a lot of fun. Thank you so much. And
Yeah,
for anyone
This was
who's
great.
been watching and hanging out, thanks for joining the stream tonight, and or morning or afternoon, wherever you might, whenever you
Or
might,
whenever.
wherever and whenever you might be watching this. And
It's
make
late
sure, yeah,
for
make
us here.
For us, it's a little late on the late side. But thank you again, Milo, for running a fantastic game. And
Yeah.
glad we had Mike able to join in a little bit earlier, even if it was
Yep.
just for a brief window. And
Brief window.
Check us out, of course, on our YouTube channel, which is linked linked in our social media on our Twitch page. So, because we have lots more Changeling awesomeness over there. In
Woot
case
woot.
you, so, but
I don't know what I'm doing. It's fine. It's early. It's bedtime. So,
All right.
drink some water, get some sleep.
Take care, everybody, and have yourselves a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Can we make them dance?